All right, everybody, welcome. Welcome to our live stream. It is April the 5th, 2021. April 5th, 2021. Glad to have you guys here. I started this thing a little bit early, so we're going to get rolling here in just a few minutes. I have got a lot I want to cover today. I really want to get into. I want to get into cryptocurrency. That's all I'm going to do today. All right, I'm going to start off. I'm going to start off talking about the markets, kind of give you an overview. You know, we came into this weekend, long holiday weekend. I was watching the futures markets on Friday, watching the futures markets again today, up big because of the employment numbers that came out. And so it feels kind of frothy. I mean, it feels like that we've kind of overdone it now. We could be looking for a little bit of a pullback. We'll see where that ends up going. But I'm going to save that for a video. So I'm going to have tomorrow, I'm going to have a video out on what I feel is the best way to hedge what you might think is an overvalued market. All right, and I'm not talking about just for the next couple weeks, but something you could do concurrently going forward. All right, it's not only a hedge against the U.S. markets, but it's also a hedge against your portfolio. That's something I'm going to cover in a video tomorrow, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. It's not a big deal. I want to try to crunch it down as little as possible. But anyway, guys, absolutely glad to have you here. I did start a little bit early. So I know that, I want to start early to make sure that I didn't have this thing screwing up, number one. All right? I think I figured it out. It only took me, at least a month before I figured this out. Second thing that I want to do is I wanted to have some sort of foundation to the live stream because I watch a lot of what other people do. And I don't watch them to get market insight. I don't do that. That's just not the way I operate. But what I did was I watched them to see what some of these guys are doing right and what I feel I can bring to the community to make things a little more, I don't want to say entertaining, but, what I don't want to do is I don't want to sit here on this live stream and just chat and have the markets move. Right? Am I pointing in the right direction? Yeah, there we go. And have the markets moving just next to me. And we just sit here and have this kumbaya moment about what's going up, what's going down. I don't want to do that. All right. What I want to do is I want to make sure that you get something out of this hour and not just that, it's going up. Look, we're getting some support here at 59,000, blah, 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 and keep moving forward. Obviously I want to talk about support resistance. I want to talk about technicals. I want to talk about what we do to spot opportunities in crypto. But today is really going to be all about cryptocurrency and how we tie it into the markets. And I definitely want to talk to those of you that are new to cryptocurrency. We're going to get into that as well. Before we do, let's take a look at the overall markets and let's see what's happening with them. Before I begin, let's scoot over and let's do some housekeeping real quick. So in order for me to do housekeeping, I've got to do a little, let's do this. There we go. Now I'm gone. Now, this disclaimer, all you have to do is once this live stream is over, all right, this is going to boot up. It's going to become a recurring video. All you have to do is hit pause on this if you really want to read this word for word. I'm going to mention two quick things. Then my face is coming back up on the screen and we're going to get going. Number one, stock, options, and crypto trading has large potential rewards, but also large potential risk. And number two, I'm not an investment advisor, guys, all right? I've been in this business a long time. But I did my fair share of hedge fund trading, and now what I do is just simply teach people. I trade my own account. I trade our family account. I teach people how to spot opportunities the way that I do and create alternative risk trades out there simply other than buying stocks and going long, right? And so keep that in mind as we move forward. Again, you can read this entire video at your leisure. There we go. I'm back. Just had to hit pause during that session of the live stream once we get the recording up and running. Okay. So let me move over again. And guys, do me a quick favor. All right, I'm looking in the chat box right now. Give me a high five. Give me a hello, good morning, good night, good evening. Wherever you are, let me know who you are and where you're coming from so that I see who's listening to me and, more importantly, where you are in this part of the world. Um, as I'm saying that, let me just quickly mention happy belated Easter to all of you. Hope you had a great 3-day holiday weekend. We had family come over. It's great because with family always comes some sort of story. And I was explicitly told not to tell the story that we heard last night. I mean, I get more, and you guys all know what we're talking about. We get more content. I get more content from my family get-togethers than I do anywhere else. And so I promised I would hold this bit of information. And I mean, I want to tell everybody what happened last night, but I got to hold on to it until further things develop. All right. I'll let you know this. It has something to do with Bitcoin. It has something to do with cryptocurrency and the hunt for lost cryptocurrency. I'll leave it at that. And we'll definitely bring it up on on another live stream or on another video going forward. So the other thing I want to mention, I want to quickly say hello to everybody. I see Stephanie from Florida. BB, glad to have you here. I got my support that's hanging out in the house. Paul, always good to see you. Mike, great to see you there, buddy. Don, Michael, Virginia's coming in from New Jersey. Newton, Iowa for Robert, and Sherry's coming in from the Burr. Tarpon Springs, Florida. I think I pass that every once in a while. So, Joe, glad to see you there. And, of course, Monroe, Louisiana. Bella's coming in. Glad to have you guys all with me here. And you know what, guys? Real quick, for those of you that are just joining us, I need to know something else from you, too. Who is new to my live stream? Who's here for the very first time on our live stream event? That's the other thing I want to just get a quick answer from those of you. I see some of you that I see on a regular basis, but if you are here for the very first time on our live stream event, then please let me know. Just type in the chat box, I'm new. The other thing I'd like to know is how many of you in the room are new to cryptocurrency? If you're new to cryptocurrency, I want to hear from you too, because I'm going to be doing a portion of this live stream toward you on what you can do to get started in cryptocurrency. All right, let's get going. I'm tired of looking at this disclaimer. I've had it on the screen long enough. So what I want to do today is I want to talk about crypto basics. I want to talk about getting started with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I want to talk about, for those of you that have never traded this before, where do you get started? A new account. I'm going to give you a bonus too. All right. In fact, what I'm going to do next week is I'm going to show you the top 5 bonuses, top 5 bonus cash offers you can get and crypto offers. But I want to share one of them with you today. And then I've got an FAQ to kind of put everything together. But the first thing I want to do, as some of us are still coming on board, is let's take a look at what's happening in the markets right now. So let's pop on over to the markets, and I'm going to get to this in a moment. All right, I'm going to get to that. I got all kinds of stuff I want to cover with you here. But the first thing I want to do is I don't want to dedicate. I want to dedicate the least amount of time to the stock market right now, but I do feel like I need to share some stock market information with everyone. So that's what we're going to do right now. So I am on tomsoptiontools.com. And by the way, guys, if you want a trial to this, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and stick it out there, right now. So let me give you some goodies so we can get started. You guys all showed up first. How can you get more information, articles, etc.? I have some goodies here. I'm going to share those with everybody right now, and then I'm going to share them at the end of the broadcast again. So let's get back to, let's get over here, and let me pop back to the markets. Now, take a look at your chat box right now because you're going to see me pop in. There we go. All right, couple goodies areas. All right, so we got a trader's guide there, and I've also got a free 2-week free trial to tomsoptiontools.com. So those of you that are tools users like Brandon, I want to thank you guys for being loyal subscribers to Tom's Option Tools. What do we do with Tom's Option Tools? What makes this any different than anything else that's out there? Well, we try to go where no one else is right now. And you know what I'll do is I'll also spend one of my live trades navigating you into maybe the top places that are on Tom's Option Tools data that you won't find anywhere else, at least not with a few mouse clicks, that's for sure. We'll save that for a later live stream too. But I wanted to spend this on charts right now. So what kind of charts can we get here, and what kind of separates us in the world of charting? We do a lot of what I like to call auto charts. Auto charts are just a way of putting everything on the screen so you don't have to. All right, so for instance, what you're looking at right now, you are looking at an auto chart of the S&P 500 with implied volatility on it. All right, so let me move this up a little bit higher so it's above my face. And what you can see here is this is a 200-day chart. I'm going to bring this down to 100 days. So on the right-hand side, just going to pop it to 100 days. Again, you know, some of this stuff you can do anywhere. I get it. But here's what you're not going to find anywhere, that red line. That red line is options implied volatility. That's another video that I got in my head right now that I want to do, is I want to define implied volatility as everybody knows it, and I want to define how we track it, right? I'm going to save that for a video. So, but we'll talk about it right now. So what does this red line tells me? It tells me if options are cheap or options are expensive relative to time. So if you take a look at this chart right now, take a look back at the end of January. See that red line? It spiked. Options went from around a 15. I look at the red side. The right side is implied volatility. Left side is stock price. But when we went from around 15 and we popped up to the high 20s, what that means is that those at-the-money calls and puts that you and I all understand, they went up about 40% in price during that time frame. Then afterwards, they dropped down. They went back up again around the beginning of March, but they've dropped down since. We've made new lows in implied volatility. We've made new lows in option prices. Yes, it's directly tied to the gap up that we've seen in the stock market, all right? And I said this earlier. Some of you weren't on the live stream. I said this earlier, is that I will be sharing a video tomorrow on my favorite hedge against a rising stock market. And that is, how do you hedge a rising stock market in the event that it cools off? How do you protect your portfolio in the event that it cools off? There's a couple of ways you can do it. There's one asset that I love against all others when you're going out farther than a week. If you're going to go out a couple weeks or a month or whatever, I'm going to show you that. And I'm going to show you how the different ways to play it. I will have that on the video that will be out tomorrow. But today, I want to just talk about the overall market. So we've had a gap in the market. In the last week and a half, we've seen SPY go from 385. Let me grab the big mouse. 385. Come on, there it is. 385 up to now 405. I have 410. Talked about it last week. 410 is an area where I think we're going to have some a hard stop, and it's simply because of channels. If you look at channels and how channels work, it's because we're looking at channels. In fact, I'm going to update the channel test right now, and I'm going to show you where 410 is. There is 410, right there where the green line comes. It's just around the green line area. Now, if this slows down, then this is going to rise a little bit more, but I think it's going to come up and it's going to hit that 410 pretty quickly. And then once we bounce off of that, then we're back down to, again, 390, 380. The 390 to 380 area would be the short-term support. So resistance is at 410 for SPY. The trend is definitely still up, but that gap we got off of the employment report, which came out Friday morning, market was closed, right? But the futures markets were trading. So we got that gap up. I think I saw the S&P futures up about 17 points on Friday. And then they ended up being up 20 some odd points by Sunday night. They just tacked on Friday's gains and added to it Sunday night. And here we are back in, and we're up significantly today. All right, we're up significantly. I think I saw the S&P SPY up 40, 50 points. And as you can see here, we closed we closed just above 400. Let's call, just above 400, maybe 401, and we're now trading at 406. So that's equivalent to a 50-point increase in the S&P. That's why you're seeing the markets jump, is that we had this 3-day weekend. We had some people caught on the short side that had to get out, and it's just added to that fuel. The one thing that's dropping, the VIX. All right. More importantly, options. Options implied volatility, because greed is coming in, the fear is going out, and when fear goes out, when the VIX is low, you hear this adage: when the VIX is high, it's time to buy. When the VIX is low, it's time to go. Go means look to step aside, take profits, look at potentially some sort of hedging strategies that are out there. All right. So these are some things that we want to look at as we're moving forward. All right, let's continue on because I want to get through here. And if it takes me a little longer to get through this live cast today, I typically do them for about an hour. But if we run a little bit longer, so be it. I'm not going to be in a hurry to crunch everything up before 1 o'clock. TLT. Now, this is I think the stock market's kryptonite right now, because the bond market's been falling, and while that's okay. When the bond market falls, it tells me as a trader that the trading community in general is getting out of bonds and they're getting into stocks. But there comes a point in time where the bond market, as it continues to fall, it starts to alert traders, bonds before stocks. And it alerts traders that potentially we see the markets really kind of dictating the fact that if interest rates are going to go higher, and it's a possibility that the bond market could be telling us this, that interest rates are on the rise, and if that's the case, we could see short-term pullbacks in the stock market. I read an article on Bloomberg today, and let me see if I can pick it up real quick on my phone, because I have the Bloomberg app, but I have the Bloomberg Terminal app too, which is actually, I like the Terminal app more because it's just quick, and you have to have the Bloomberg Terminal to get it. But I saw an article that came out that said Goldman Sachs is unwinding, I don't see it right now, Goldman Sachs is unwinding their short US dollar position. They basically believe that everything's now been factored in going forward, and they've made money on the short side. We're going to look at the US dollar next, and I'm going to explain what it is we're looking at here. If you're unwinding a short position, what are you doing? You're going long US dollars. Let's take a look at the UUP. Now, UUP is down for the day a bit, all right? But again, notice this. If Goldman was short the US dollar and had been short the US dollar for some significant time, they did very well. If they're unwinding or have unwound their position, then they're really telegraphing to us that they believe the short trade's over, and they believe that the US dollar might be now something to buy. So that puts potential pressure on stocks. Now, in the long term, I don't think, or in the short term, I don't think the stock market's going to fall over. It could. Time will tell. But everything that I see going forward tells me that the stock market wants to continue to rally higher. In fact, April has been one of the best months to buy the stock market. And that might be what's happening, is we're seeing people tripping over each other to get into this market. However, there's no reason why you can't do a little bit of a hedge just in case you're wrong. All right, so and again, I'll talk about this on Tuesday for those of you that are just joining us. I want to welcome those of you that are coming in late. We're starting off with the stock market, and I'm going to move into cryptocurrency, and I'm going to spend the rest of the time on our live stream on crypto. But the US dollar, look at the short term. It's in an up run. All right, bottomed out down here around 24. Really, the bottom looks like about 24.10. Right, we didn't quite touch 24, but now we've rallied higher, and we're at just almost 25 now for the US dollar. And I'm seeing some strength and some long-term signals starting to pop up in UUP. Right, so moving forward, what's happening with oil? Oil has actually stumbled. It's been one of those buy the rumor, sell the news events that happened to do with last week was the Suez Canal. However, if you take a long look at oil, you can see that what we could be in right now is we could be in a pause to the rally. Now, we're seeing some very interesting support lines coming in right where we are right now with USO. And then the next area is going to be just below that 40 area. So let's call it 38 and a half. 38 and a half looks like a very interesting area of support as well. But if we hold this line that we're seeing right now, this would be holding the long-term uptrend. Think about this. I mentioned this on last week's video, that the Suez Canal was a sell the news event. But the buy the rumor and the buy the news event is to buy the longer-term pattern, which is the seasonal oil pattern. Starts in mid-February, ends in mid-July. Go back 20 years and you can see 75% of the time, oil was higher in mid-July than it was in mid-February. Now, where were we in mid-February? We were pretty much where we are right now, right around 40. And I think 40 is an excellent area. I'm letting all of you on my live stream know about this now. I will more than likely be doing something in the oil markets tomorrow. All right, so I'm giving you a 24-hour head start. That I'll be looking at something in either USO or some sort of oil stock equivalent to get long in one form or another with options. That's what I'm planning on doing. Okay, so that's USO. So we know that the stock market's still trending up. We know that the bond market's confirming that. So is commodities, at least industrial commodities like oil. The U.S. dollar could be the kink in the wrench here real quick. All right. Now, what about gold? Let's look at GLD real quick. GLD has really been in a downtrend. I mean, the last time we saw an all-time high in GLD, but it was last August when GLD was in the mid-190s. The best it's done this year, 184, 183, 184 back in the beginning of January. Since then, it's been in a downtrend. And you see the lows that we hit down here in the high 150s, not once, but twice. Gold is trying to make a rally, but it's going to run into some resistance right up here around the 168, 167 area. That's where we're seeing a longer-term and shorter-term resistance with these downtrends. We've got to break above those downtrends before this whole thing resets itself. I don't think it's likely going to happen anytime soon, all right? But what I do think is I think gold's going to set up to be a great longer-term buy. Just right now, everybody's looking at where do I get the best return? So right now, it's not in GLD, it's not in gold. Where do you get your best returns? Your best returns right now are in two areas, the stock market, and the second area is cryptocurrency. Right? And I want to talk about cryptocurrency, and I'm going to move into cryptocurrency right now. So for those of you that are just joining us, I want to welcome you. What we did was we did just a review of the stock market. We talked about the employment numbers of last week and how they really, like I said, people were tripping over themselves this morning to buy stocks. Those that didn't get in on Friday. Those that went short, not Friday, Thursday. Those that went short on Thursday, well, those people are buying back their shorts because we had a new gap up in the market. Maybe they thought, if I back up again and show you, maybe they thought this 400 area was going to hold. It didn't hold. We gapped higher. We've been trading higher since. So it's been quite a bull market today for the bulls as we hit new all-time highs. You know, if I were to just change this and look at one more thing before we move into cryptocurrencies, it's this, DIA. What are old school stocks doing? Well, they jumped up and hit new highs too. As we're now seeing DIA at 335.22. This is a recent hit. That's equivalent of over 35,000 Dow. How about the NASDAQ? You know, typically the NASDAQ has not been following the old school stocks as before either. But you take a look at NASDAQ, it too is making new highs. It made new gap highs today. However, we are off the all-time highs still of around 339 on the NASDAQ, on the QQQs, which actually came in about mid-February. You know, Valentine's Day handed the NASDAQ stocks their all-time high, and we haven't seen it yet. But it looks like we're making a race back up there to hit that once again. So let's move into cryptocurrency, all right? Let's pop into cryptocurrency, and for that, I'm going to go ahead and I want to set up in our tools. I'm going to go to our crypto tools, and I'm going to go to charts, and I'm going to stop right here. In fact, actually, I'm going to go to Coinbase, and there's a reason why. And we're going to come back to this. And I want to update this. So I'm just going to put BTC on here because that's the first area I always like to start with is what is the foundational doing? All right, we're going to look at the foundational. Right now it's trading just over 59,000. In fact, it's trading just below 59 real time. But the last print I have here is 59,000. For those of you that are using our tools, realize this is that we do request to send on our tools and we do updates every half hour. And the reason why is because we're not day traders, all right? In the world of cryptocurrency, we're not day traders. And because of that, I don't need to have real time hitting this thing all the time. And there's plenty of places you can get real time quotes on. I'm going to show you those today, all right? But for those of you that are new to cryptocurrency, let's just do a little quick rewind on crypto. So what is cryptocurrency? Well, it is, just like I say here, it's a digital currency in which we use to transact or barter goods and services, all right? This is right out of the dictionary. Now, from here, let me move forward and let's talk about how cryptocurrency works. Cryptocurrency works very simple. You know, you're creating a wallet, and if you are a seller of goods or services, you create that wallet to where you can accept cryptocurrency. Right? What happens is that currency now gives you a code, and you're able to send that code to a prospective buyer of your goods and services. They then send Bitcoin in through that code. The network verifies that, and the cryptocurrency is yours. Okay? With Bitcoin, that process takes a few minutes. But again, think of it, for those who've never done this before, this is no different than a wallet. You know, you're pulling money out of your wallet to pay for something. It's literally the same thing. The only difference is it's a digital wallet, right? Some of us, you know, think about this too. How does, you know, when someone says, how does cryptocurrency work? I say to them, how does a credit card work? How does a debit card work? And you know what their answer is? Well, if I want money, I put the card in, I punch in my code, and the money comes out. Yeah, but how does that actually work? What happens behind the scenes? Is there a teller behind the ATM machine doing this? No, it's all done through transactions, all right? Through not digital transactions, but automated transactions. All digital currency is something very similar, okay? So I want you to think of that in, you know, if you can't get your head around how cryptocurrency is, think about the fact that most of us can't get our head around how a Visa card works. And yet we feel comfortable handing a merchant our card and taking our clothing or our goods or our services we bought and charging that card. And they get the fee. They get our money, and we get our services and our goods. It's no different. Right? It's no different. It's just more secure and faster when it comes to transferring currency around the world. So, moves on to the next thing I want to mention is, well, where did this all start? This all started in late 2008, early 2009 with Bitcoin, the foundational coin. That came on the scenes. Ethereum was the second coin that really started gaining popularity in 2014. Of course, where did I fit into all this? I actually started mining Bitcoin in 2013. So I bought a big computer and I mined Bitcoin in 2013. I had it in my house. This thing sounded like a swarm of bees. It was like a hive. There were so many fans on the back of this computer, all spinning to keep the drives, to keep the processing boards from popping off. It just the noise was reverberating. I said it right, reverberating in the house, and it did sound like a swarm of bees. Maybe after a couple weeks, my wife couldn't stand it anymore and said, "Get that thing out of here." So I put it in the garage. The garage at the time was not air conditioned, and boy, you could feel the heat when you came down stairs. You know, I ran this thing 24/7. Came downstairs, and I usually had a fan or two blow and stop. And then when the fan stops, there was a fail safe on these to not overheat, so that board would go down, and I'd have to replace fans simply because it wasn't cool enough in there. Added air conditioning in. Anyway, I ended up how do I say it? I had to decide it was best for me to get rid of the machine. All right. Now my wife wishes we never got rid of that machine, but that's a whole separate subject. All right, so I started mining in 2013, and I actually started buying Bitcoin afterwards. First started small, and then started working my way up. Right. So I mean, you look at these things, and a lot has happened between then and now. And so just realize that to me, I think it's gotten a lot easier. I think it's easier now than it was ever. And I'm not talking about mining, all right? Some of you out there say, hey, how do I mine Bitcoin? Don't. It's not worth it right now. Not mining on your own, and definitely not cloud hashing or cloud mining, because the management fees that they take off of it, it's almost like a timeshare. And as Bitcoin and Ethereum get higher and higher, it ends up working out. It does not work out in your favor. So, point being, we're better off if you want to own Bitcoin, or you want to own Ethereum or any cryptocurrency. You're better off buying it on your own. Okay, so that brings us to kind of where do we get started? And the very first thing to get started, of those of you that are new to Bitcoin or Ethereum, you want to get started with your own wallet, all right? Setting up your own wallet, which means starting to dive into, what I call looking at your first exchange, all right? Now, I'm going to move my video device. There we go. Because the next couple of slides I have, which I'm going to be moving in and out of the market, so I want to make sure that all of you see this. All right, you're able to see these. So, Jay, give me a shout real quick and let me know if my face is no longer on the screen. Because I got to make sure my face isn't on the screen, only because there might be some very pertinent information down there in the bottom left-hand corner that, like I said, I want to make sure that we're good. So, let me know if my face disappeared. Now, the very first exchange, and I'm really kind of talking to the folks that are here in the U.S., would be Coinbase. But if you're outside the U.S., you could use Binance. Those are the two most popular exchanges for trading cryptocurrency on. All right. So what's the first thing you need to do? Well, you need to get an authenticator. Okay. Face is still on the screen below. Okay. Well, I tried. Let me back this thing up a second here, and let's do this. So let me see if there's something I can do to change that. I'm not even going to try. Okay, so I'll just let you know where things are going. First step is you need an authenticator. Got to have an authenticator, and you can download the Google Authenticator right to your phone, whether it's an iPhone or an Android device, and that Google Authenticator will give you a running 6-digit code that you're going to put in when you're going in and out of exchanges like Coinbase or Binance. All right, even when you're buying coin or selling coin, you're going to need to put that 6-digit code in if you authorize what's called two-factor authentication. And I suggest that you do. That's what I do. That way it's definitely you that's buying, selling, transferring in or out Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency. Okay. So that's your first step. The second step is to open an account. And opening an account could be as easy as opening a Coinbase account. Now, I'm going to give you a code. All right? Now, and I got to mention this, full disclosure is that this is an invite code. If you're brand new and you use this invite code and you deposit $100, you're going to get a 10% bonus in Bitcoin from Coinbase. Guess what? I get the 10% bonus too. Okay? But if you didn't use this, you wouldn't get any bonus if you're joining without. So I'm going to put this in the chat box right now. So take a look in the chat box. There's the code. I just sent it to everyone. Click on that if you haven't joined Coinbase yet, and that'll give you, once you deposit $100, that'll give you that $10 deposit, or that $10 in Bitcoin. And what's interesting is I had people that years ago I did this for, and they said, you won't believe what that $10 has grown into in Bitcoin. And so it's, and that $100 deposit buying Bitcoin, which is what a lot of people did. So what you're going to do is you're going to join Coinbase. You're going to fill out your information. It's going to then ask you to authenticate. And that's where you're going to take that Google Authenticator and you're going to put in that verification code. Now you have the ability to have it not ask you for that code for 30 days going forward. All right. So that's something that's important to know as well. All right. From there, you're just going to simply add funds. You have a number of different ways you can add funds into your account. And from there, you're going to create your first wallet and start with a small deposit. I did wallets, and I did a Bitcoin wallet. I do a wallet for every coin, that I do. I have separate wallets for separate coins. So you can go in and you can put in as little, I believe the smallest dollar amount to buy and sell Bitcoin. It used to be $2. So, I mean, $2 US, very, very small purchase to get started. And so you create your wallets, you make your first Bitcoin buy. It's just really that simple. Now, let's explore some different things on Bitcoin. Now, first thing I do is when I go to Coinbase, or you can go to CoinMarketCap, I take a look at what I call, what are the top coins? The top coins that I look at are by market cap. So if you take a look at this is my Coinbase account, and it just shows me, when I go into prices, it ranks those coins by market cap. So as you can see, this was earlier today is what I did this. And Bitcoin was trading at 485. It had 1.1 trillion in market cap. So all of these are ranked by market cap. And you can see here Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum is 241. It's almost $250 billion in market cap. Now, what's interesting is that last week, to me, Ethereum's the big mover for the week when you look at the big three. The big three are Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. Cardano is a 38 billion market cap, and then everything just kind of falls down from there. It doesn't mean these aren't any good. It just means that, you look at the big ones, it's really Bitcoin and Ethereum. So what I want to do is I want to slide over and look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I'm going to do that right now. So let's move over to my home base. Let's go to prices. And now you can see since I put snapshot of that, Bitcoin is at 59,121. So this is BTC. So what I want to do is I want to go in and look at each of these for a moment. And I'm going to click on Bitcoin. And what it does is it opens up. Now I'm in the Coinbase account. I'm in my Coinbase account at Coinbase.com. And this is the web-based account. I want to show you also, before the end of the day, the Pro account. There are big differences between Coinbase and Coinbase Pro. You use the same login, but you got to move Bitcoin over to be able to access it and move US dollars over. And you keep US dollars. I keep different amounts. I have amounts in Coinbase. I have amounts in Coinbase Pro. And then I do keep a lot of my cryptocurrency offline. Okay? So it's kind of like in its own little safe place that's not even on the internet, not accessible on the internet. I'll get to that too. So I show Bitcoin at 59,139, and I see a chart here. This chart is the last 24 hours. I want to go back a week. I'm going to show you what's been going on over the last week. So over the last week, we've seen Bitcoin, go from the 57s to as high as it popped 60,000 on April 1st. Now, April 1st, April Fools, from there all the way into April 3rd, and we actually dropped down to a low of 56,478. Now, we were in the 56s this morning, but we've jumped back up again and now trading at 59,143. What I want to show you is that if you notice, the high for the week was at 60,000, just over 60,000. But our all-time high in Bitcoin is, I believe, 61,179. Right? If I go back a month, let's see, this is it right here. 61,788. That's the all-time high. Now, take a look at, let's go back to prices again. Let's go to Ethereum. Now, I've been talking to my group saying Ethereum is the real mover. This is the mover. And the reason I say that is because look where Ethereum was on March 31st. It was at 1771. Look where it is today, 2117. In fact, it made new all-time highs. If you notice, we'll go back a month. The all-time highs prior to that were 1928. That was on March 12th. We moved down during the month of March as low as 1554. Look at that move that we popped up on April 2nd, 2145. And we're very close to making new all-time highs again. What I'm saying is that not only did Ethereum beat its all-time highs that were back in March, back in the 19s, but it blistered them. Went above 2,000, went above 2,100, currently above 2,100. And now it looks like, based on that 2145 number that happened at 6 p.m. on April 2nd, that we're likely to make a continued run up again. So for those of you that are seeing me for the first time, what's the question you might have is, what's different between now and 2017? 2017, that 2016, 2017 was if you go back, okay, 2014, all right, 2013, the area of early adopters. So you got 2013, okay, 14, 15, 16, 17, 4 years later, we get the beginning of the retail crowd comes in, and Bitcoin moves up to almost 20,000 before falling back down almost 90%, really 90% off. Went back down to 4,000. Then tick moves up into 2018, 2019, 2020, and we're back above 10, and then COVID pushes it back down near 4 again. Then we run back up, and you've seen the run. You've seen the run. I actually, again, full disclosure, I put six-figure amounts into Bitcoin, even though I mined it back in 2013. When COVID hit and it dropped down below 5, I started putting amounts and started buying Bitcoin. And I put a six-figure number into Bitcoin, and I put a six-figure number into Ethereum when it was trading near the lows, not at the lows. I didn't catch the lows, but I caught it running back up. And so I bought Ethereum at some really nice prices back last year. So where are we at now? Where do I see these going? I'll give you some targets here in just a few minutes. But take a look at Ethereum. The difference between 2017 and 2020 is if you look at 2013, early adopters. 2017, the retail crowd gets on, induced by mainstream media. 2020, institutional money is flowing. Institutional money is flowing into Bitcoin, flowing into Ethereum, and flowing into these microcurrencies, these alt currencies. That's the big difference. And I think if institutions are coming in and they're buying slowly and quietly, and then you hear Elon Musk, who throws tweets out all the time, that just kind of pushes the envelope of Bitcoin, etc., higher. I don't think that's in any area of a short-term bubble, right? We might continue to see some pullbacks, but remember now, we've got a floor, which is institutional money, that would love to see this pullback so they could get their hands on more. Is it, the next question is, well, it's more of a comment I see, well, Bitcoin and Ethereum move with the stock market. So if the stock market drops, isn't that going to push crypto down? Yes and no. Sometimes crypto moves with the markets. Sometimes it does not. We saw a big push down, I think it was a week or two ago, in the stock market, and Bitcoin actually moved against it. So maybe Bitcoin is now moving on to its own. We'll see. Only time will tell. But I will say this. If Bitcoin is going to move with the stock market, and April is one of the best months to be in the market seasonally, then wouldn't that also tell us that April might be one of the best months to be in the crypto market as well? It could be. All right, so that's Ethereum. And I mean, we could look at these, and I could go through. I'm going to give you a coin which is not at the best possible price, but I'll show you a couple different ways that we could look at that one. All right, which is we've had a lot of coins come up on our buy list in the last 2 weeks, and 2 weeks ago were beautiful times to take advantage of these opportunities. But we could also still get on those trains, or we could actually scale in. I'll get into that in just a moment with at least one coin. All right, so that's Ethereum, and when I look at prices, once again, you know, what I do is I look at the prices and I look at where is all the money. And all the money is going to be on the market cap. All right, we can look at the market cap to give us an idea of where are most of the traders at. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. Uniswap, to me, is something kind of new. It hasn't been on Coinbase that long, however. You know, and I am, of the top 5, I can tell you right now, I am long 4 of them. And I'm not long Cardano. And, you know, you look at this price of Cardano, it says $1.20, and it just makes you want to do something with it, right? And I'm just not ready to do anything with it yet because it's not been on Coinbase long enough for me to find a rules-based opportunity. But I'm in Uniswap, I'm in Litecoin, I'm in Ethereum, I'm in Bitcoin, and I'd like to add. I'm going to add to one of these positions, all right, in the next 24 hours. And I'll let you know which one here very soon. So we're seeing the market, the overall market's up 4.24%. Well, Bitcoin's only up 2.14%. Ethereum's only up 2.25%. Where's all this money coming in? Take a look down here. Stellar Lumens, all right, up 17%. Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash plays this rubber band game with Bitcoin a lot. When Bitcoin's on the move and Bitcoin Cash stays still, that makes Bitcoin Cash, in my mind, a value play. And so, where is all the money? I'm going to click on Change, and you can see Orchid. Orchid right now is up 22%. Stellar Lumens, all right, Stellar Lumens is up 17%. OMG, the Amagais, all right, network, up 12%. This is one that we picked, it was a week or 2 ago, all right. Tezos, Bitcoin Cash, we were on this one within the last 2 weeks. And then, of course, there's Numair, Band Protocol, EOS. These are ones that are, some of these are newer. They're not, I don't have enough data because, you know, we take a look at data, we run it through our computer. We have algorithms that help us pick buys and sells based on a number of things, seasonals, technicals. You know, fundamentals we look at, but fundamentals we look at on coins that we want to buy and hold a long time. So, for instance, Bitcoin, all right? I own Bitcoin. I've owned it since 2013. I've added to my positions in Bitcoin. And if anything, all I've done is I've transferred out some cryptocurrency. I have given away cryptocurrency as gifts, all right, to family, holiday gifts, birthday gifts. I've given away cryptocurrency as even as charitable donations. So I've given cryptocurrency to charity, to organizations that know how to take it, because most of them out there don't, right? But I haven't gone out and openly sold Bitcoin or sold Ethereum, and I have no desire to do so at this point. In fact, my idea of Bitcoin is my big number on Bitcoin right now, in the next area, the next target I'm looking at on Bitcoin, let me bring Bitcoin back up again. My target on Bitcoin is now 72,000, 72 to 100,000. Where in the world am I getting those targets from? 72 is a Fibonacci extension level on Bitcoin. All right. I'll share with you how I got to that. Let's go to cryptocurrency charts. Okay, so here is the crypto charts in Tom's Option Tools. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn off the simple moving average. As you can see, it's definitely on the buy side. So, I mean, the moving averages, the trend is up on this. But I want to turn that off for a moment. And what I want to turn on is Fibonacci. So here are the Fibonacci charts for crypto for the last 100 days. Lows down here around 25,000. In fact, really what I need to do is, if I were to look at, this is not a bad area, all right, because you see the support that came in at 30. We had this run up, but we hit the all-time highs, and this is a closing high, by the way. Remember I said 61,179, then I looked at Coinbase, I'm like, wait a minute, 61,700 and something. That's because what we do is you have to mark the end of the day. And the way that I look at charts is based on the close of the day, not the wicks, not the absolute high or absolute low, but the closing prices. So we've had a pullback on those closing prices. And if I go to 30,000, so if I take this down to 75 days, then I'm going to really be able to update based on that closing price. There's that closing price. And you can see 61,179. Then you see us pull back to nearly 38%. This area here, 49 to 61. All right? 49, 61. What is that? That's 11,000. Add 11,000 to 61, what do you get? 72. Boom. There's my target. Why 100,000? That's a round number. Okay, that's it. 72 to 100,000. I have to create a wide target because this is one of the most volatile markets to be in right now. The other thing I found is that if you look over the last several days, let's take a look at 10 days. All right, I'm going to look at 10 days, but I'm also not going to look at crypto at the Fibonacci, because Fibonacci don't make sense in 10 days. But you can see here 55,000 up to 59, up to 59.5, up to 60. But really, we didn't go back down to below 57. Right? This was Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We've kind of come right back up into that 59 area. This market just feels very strong right now. So you've got a lot of things going for it. Okay? You've got the trend is up. If you look at trend crossovers, seasonality going into April is positive. Fibonacci bounce off the 38% retracement. So again, a lot of things that are happening that I believe, if you look outside of the news and you look outside of what is being said on media, try to look at it with objective eyes. And objective eyes and rules-based trading tell me that we're going to see new highs very soon in Bitcoin. Now, if I look at Ethereum, I'm going to go back and I'm going to put the 75-day marker on. And I'm actually going to go to ETH. Now let's take a look at ETH. ETH is hit all-time highs 4 days ago. Looks like it's getting very close again today. But what does this look like on a Fibonacci retracement? And can we create a target from this? Well, that's what I'm going to do. There's your Fib retracement levels. Okay. Now, the problem I've got is that the Fib retracement levels, this should have been the high. This should have been the pullback. And if we look at, so we can take the last high and the last pullback, and you need to take the bigger one in the middle to estimate where the next area of, the next target area is going to be for Ethereum. So if I take this low at 1,100, isn't it amazing this thing was at 1,100 in January? And you get this run up to 2,000, okay? That's about a 900-point move. That's a 900-point move up, but look what happened. 2,000 down to 1,300. That's 700 points. Now take 700 points, the distance here, add it to 2,000, and I'm just round numbering this so we all get it. What's 2,000 plus 700? 2,700. That's my short-term target on Ethereum. 2,700 to 3,000. 2,700 Ethereum. That's the extension target. 3,000 round number. Okay, so 15% move there between the two. A lot less move than Bitcoin 72 to 100,000. All right, but it's still there. Again, Ethereum 2,700, Bitcoin 72,000. That's what I'm seeing on the targets there. So I can't tell you what to do. Again, I'm not your investment advisor. I'm not your broker, but I own Ethereum, I own Bitcoin, and I have no desire to sell them, especially before these targets that we see in place going forward. All right. Let's dive into this a little bit deeper. Before I do, let me switch screens real quick. Want to pop on over and see what's going on over here in the comments section. Coinbase is available in the UK. Wendy, thank you for bringing that up. All right. Let's see if we have here. Do you need ID for Coinbase? Okay. Now, it's been a little while since I've opened a Coinbase account. In fact, I'll safely say it's been about 7 years. That's how long I've had my Coinbase account open. When I opened a Coinbase account, what I learned was this. It depended on how much you were putting in, how much Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. you were buying. If you were going to make $1,000 or less purchases up to a certain amount, they didn't really care if you had an ID or not. But if you wanted to add more money in and put in larger dollar amounts, they wanted ID. They wanted your country ID or a passport. They wanted something to know who you were because they're sending information to your government, especially if you sell. All right, so that's important to know. Thank you for the question. Let's see. Bank account or credit debit. A lot of, I don't know the country, but I do know in the U.S. they stopped doing credit cards. They stopped doing credit cards because people were doing we called it the New York Acapulco spread. And what that is that when people were hawking their credit cards, buying Bitcoin, and if it went up, everything was great. But if it went down, they were disappearing. So they may not be, and then of course the credit card companies were going in and charging back. So who was getting hurt in that? The exchange was. So they may not allow you to do that anymore. Wire transfers, debit cards, ACHs, forms there where once they get that money's in, it can't be pulled back unless you pull it back based on its account value. If we don't have enough money to put in Bitcoin and have a little over $1,000 right now, would you leave it in there or maybe put it into another? Okay, so first of all, that kind of rolls into investment advice, which Carol, I can't tell you what to do, but I will tell you this. Bitcoin operates on what's called the Satoshi. Okay, Satoshi came in years ago that takes the price of Bitcoin and actually delineates it down 8 decimal places to the right. So if we were to take a look and see, and I'm going to use my phone right now because I want to make sure that I'm doing this kind of correctly. But if you took the price of Bitcoin, and let's say it's 59,000 right now, and you wanted to buy one fraction. What's the smallest denomination that it trades in terms of Satoshis? Is 1, it's 8 decimal places, right? So I'm going to multiply 59,000 times 0.00000001. That's really short. That's a small amount. I show it to you on the screen there if you can see it. I don't know if you can, but that's cheap. All right, so to answer your question, yes, I mean it's you can definitely buy it in fractionals, and in an area where anybody can afford it. All right, so good question. I'm glad you brought that up, Laura. Jesse says Binance account and Coinbase Pro account. Do I need both? Again, I don't think you need both, but that's completely up to you. I can tell you. Let me just tell you this. So you don't get charged commissions when you buy and sell on exchanges like Coinbase or Binance. What you get charged are fees, and those fees are a lot of times it is a percentage of what it might cost to make a purchase, right? So I can show you a couple of them. If you guys want to go into those, I'll show you a couple. But let me get you to the end of the book here. So Jesse, this is your answer. All right. If you want to save and do this for the lowest possible fees, then Binance is the way to go, because Bitcoin Coinbase itself charges about 1.5% in what they call transfer fees when you're buying and selling Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency. And this is on average, by the way. This is not exact. If you use Coinbase Pro, it's about 0.5%. So you're basically doing it for 1/3 the cost on Coinbase Pro than you do on Coinbase. Binance charges 0.1%, so it is the best. And the reason why they do that is because you're doing switch outs. You're not buying Bitcoin for US dollars on Binance. In fact, Binance doesn't take US dollars at all. You have to deposit in Bitcoin, and then you're swapping Bitcoin for other cryptocurrencies. So the two ways to create, and I'm going to show you this here in a moment. Let's take a look at, this is my Bitcoin BTC. So if I did a one-time purchase, for instance, let's just go through a couple of these real quick. Let's say I want to do a $100 purchase on Bitcoin right now. I'm going to preview that buy, and let's go in and let's see. So that's going to cost me, for $100, it's going to cost me $2.99. So about 3% just to do a $100 purchase, right? Let's back that off again. Let's make that 1,000. Now let's see how much 1,000 is going to cost me. And I see that 1,000 is going to cost me a little less than $15, or about 1.5%. Hey, but when I go to Coinbase, I'm Tom Gentile. Can't I get a better deal? No, you can't get a better deal. I can't get a better deal. We all get the same deal, right? But that usually you can see. So 1.5%. What if I did a $10,000 purchase? What's that going to cost me? Right? Should that cost me $150? Yeah. So it does stay right around that 1.5%. I don't know if I said 15 earlier. 15% is not true. 1.5%. But if you're buying the lower denominated amounts, it actually increases as high as 3% for $100. But again, if I am buying with the idea that I'm going to hold to 71,000 or 72,000 Bitcoin or 100,000 Bitcoin, that little percentage amount doesn't mean much to me. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, so that's the preview. And that's going to be the same with the majority of cryptocurrency that you're doing in Coinbase. Now, let me move over to Coinbase Pro. And I have cryptocurrencies in Coinbase Pro right now. It looks like I got about $1,000 in my USD account left over that I can do some stuff with crypto. So if I wanted to buy Bitcoin here, if I wanted to buy it, and I don't want to buy it right now, what I want to do is I'm going to set it up as a limit order. Okay, so that's the one thing that you can do over here. So when you're in Coinbase, the Coinbase account, Coinbase, market orders are pretty much all you're doing. This is a buy, and set your target high. But if you are going to be in the Coinbase Pro account, here's my Coinbase Pro account, and let's say I'm looking at 50, I'm going to put in a limit order at 58,000 on Bitcoin. So how much Bitcoin do I want? Let's say I wanted to do 0.000, let's see, 0.0001. I don't know how much that is. Let's find out. I want to do it for 58,000 Bitcoin. So the fee is 3 cents, and the total is only $5 in Bitcoin. If I go to 0.0001, what if I go to 0.001? Well, that's $58 in Bitcoin. All right, see that? What if I go to? Let me move my face. I can't move my face out of the way. Let's do this. Let's slide this over. This is how I'm going to move my face out of the way. All right, so my face should be over here somewhere. Now, what if I do? That's $58. So 0.01. All right, that's 1/100th of a Bitcoin. Going to cost me $582, and I'm only getting charged $2.90 on the fee. So can you see where Coinbase Pro, you can save a lot more fees just adding that extra step? Open a Coinbase account, open a Coinbase Pro account. You use the same login. You transfer money from Coinbase to Coinbase Pro. You trade your coins there. You can move your coins back and forth between the two because it's under the same account. It's very simple to do. Okay? And so Coinbase, if you go to their help files, they can share with you how that's actually done. Right? But I wanted to show you there. The neat thing about Coinbase Pro is it allows you a couple of advanced options. It allows you to buy in not only market orders, but limit orders and stop orders. And you can put in, what you're looking at in terms of how you want to, how much of this you want to pay, and it'll show you down at the bottom. You might have to fool around with it a little bit. So if you say to yourself, I don't want to spend more than $500. All right, well, point one is, a little too much. But how about 0.009? 0.009 is 524. What about 0.008? 0.008, 466. So we're getting closer to that magical number. Right? That's if it goes to 58,000. So there you go. So that's how we could use. And Coinbase Pro actually does a really good job when you look at their platform of how it's laid out. All right? Their platform's laid out, something that's easier to look at. in terms of what you see as far as the order book. The last these are all the offers on top in red. These are all the bids down here in green, and right here's the spread. The spread is the difference between that closest bid and that closest offer, and that's going to move around a bit. But right now, see it at a penny, then it jumps up to as Bitcoin starts to move around a lot. Trades are being taken, spread widens, spread contracts. So you see that happening. And over here, you'll see trade history. These are all the trades that are popping in. You can see Bitcoin's trade around 59.056 right now. So it's come back down to around the 59 level. But this is one of the best places you can see live real-time trading going on with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many, many other coins that Coinbase has. Now, Coinbase, not every cryptocurrency on Coinbase Pro, not everyone on Coinbase is actually traded on Coinbase Pro. Keep that in mind. I think I saw another half a dozen coins get launched on Coinbase just in the last week or so. They may not be available on Coinbase Pro yet, but as they gain traction, then they will be. All right. So that's Coinbase Pro, and and contact them. I believe I know that they have. Is it Keith or Keat? I know they have a way of doing auto deposits, either weekly, monthly, etc. I don't know whether they have Roth or IRAs. They may. All right. I just honestly don't know the answer to that information. All right. Is Coinbase Pro a separate app? Yes, it is, Carlton. Just go to you can access. I believe you can access and download it from Coinbase, or you just go to pro.coinbase.com is where you want to go. All right. Thank you for the comments, Jesse. Appreciate that. Hey, guys, now's a great time if you want to really help us out on the channel. Hit that like button. That like button in there. I don't say it enough. I get too wrapped up in what I'm doing to realize that, that if you hit that like button, it really helps support the channel. And, we do, I try my best here to just do free information on YouTube. I'll mention this too. 3 things I'm going to mention. Hit that like button if you find this stuff, this informative. It will definitely help out our channel. Somehow it ties in with the algorithm. If you subscribe on the right-hand side and hit the bell if you're brand new to us, then every video that I do, everything that I upload, you'll get it instantly. As soon as it's uploaded and it's ready, you'll have it before everybody else. I'm going to do my next video is going to be on how to hedge against a potential pullback and what I feel is the best instrument to use on hedging against a pullback and how to hedge your portfolio, all right, based on one symbol, my favorite symbol that's out there to hedge. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button. I do. The third thing I want to mention is that a lot of you know we monetize the channel. All right. What you might not know, and I don't talk about this, I don't boast about this, is that every dollar that we bring in on the channel, I end up donating to one charitable form or another. And it's not my charitable form. It's charities. It's actual real charities that we donate to. And those are through just donations or charity auctions, what have you. So every dollar that comes in, and I'm not talking about after dollars, all right, because I have folks that we pay that help do those nice little thumbnails and help to, kind of smooth out the videos. But we try to take I look at the top line number that comes in on the number that we monetize. That goes to charity. So realize those that are coming in here, looking at these advertisements that are popping up, it's going to a good cause. All right. So I just want to let you know that as well. All right. So let's get back to. I still have a few things I want to cover with you here as we move forward. All right. Let's pop back over. And let me see where I am right now in this point. So, cryptocurrency outside the U.S. Okay, there's a site you can go to for those of you that are outside the U.S. and you're saying I can't get Coinbase. All right, maybe you can do Binance, but maybe you can't, and I don't know. All right, but there is a site called Buy Bitcoin Worldwide that can give you details of based on what country you're in, what sites there are to look at for buying Bitcoin. I want to say one thing to you. If you go to buy Bitcoin worldwide, because I'm getting this information as I'm giving it to you, okay? Anything that I do in the market, so here's buy Bitcoin. It's buy Bitcoin on worldwide, and you'll come to it and it'll say buy Bitcoin or crypto in, and you go to your country, all right? And there's a couple hundred of them on here, but let's say you're going to go to, I have a place in New Zealand. Let's go to New Zealand. And let's say I'm going to do a payment method, bank transfer. All right. I can use SWI-FTX, says popular. I can use independent reserve, popular. I can use eToro. I see eToro on a few of these. It says popular, but there's also reviews. All right. Coin Mama, Kiwi Coin. And then there's some information on how to buy, and then popular. There's the popular exchanges, Coinbase, eToro, Coinbase Pro. Again, and some great information as well. My suggestion is don't come up here at the top and just hit buy now without doing some research. Do some research. Make sure that it works for you, and make sure you know that it's a real site. I hate reading stories about people who download an app on iOS or on Android Play, and it turned out to be a scam in one way or another, and they ended up buying Bitcoin only to see it disappear. Don't want you to do that. So please do your homework on this. But I wanted to share with you at least some place you could go to purchase Bitcoin, or to look at purchasing Bitcoin. The other thing you can do is you can look at offline wallets. An offline wallet is a hard storage device. Let me grab one over here. This is an example of an offline wallet. This is called the Ledger Nano, and it looks like a USB drive, but it's not. All right, it actually takes a USB-C to plug into your computer, and what you do is you store it on here on this drive. All right, it's an important drive for me. You store it on your drive, and you can put that in a safe or a safe deposit box or whatever it may be. And then what you do with that is that anytime you want to transfer, add to, pull from that wallet, you would get connected to your computer, and you'd go to a site like MyEtherWallet. Another one's MetaMask, and these are secure ways of going in and seeing this on the hard drive and being able to send it to maybe Coinbase or one of your exchanges to trade with, or you could send it directly to another person or entity receiving the same way. All right. Ledger is the company that I use, but there are several of them out there that you could utilize. All right. Okay, let's move on. And as I'm moving through here too, before I get to the frequently asked questions that I've had here before too, guys. As I move through, again, thank you guys all for the comments that I see on here. Let's see, been watching you for a while. Complete genius. Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate it, buddy. And I love the piece here too. What do you got here? Bring out content. You have shown me a way to provide my family for nothing in return. I'm not gonna say nothing. I mean, I do pretty well. I do pretty well as a trader. I have premium services too. Through our publisher, I run. I'm a refounder of Optionetics. We offer premium services too. So, on the YouTube channel, I do this, and honestly, really not looking for any monetary value in return. We do have some stuff out there that you can look at if you want to go a little deeper with me. I shared, and I'm going to share it at the end for those of you that are interested. You can take a look at once again. You can take a look at the links that I'm going to provide at the end of the day. But thank you so much for the comment. I appreciate it. Kind of rattled off there at the end. I'm starting to do that a little more. Getting older. George is saying, can you see the cold storage portfolios on an exchange like Coinbase Pro? You actually see them through other websites. All right. The one I use is called myetherwallet.com. And it's spelled just like that. MyEther, M-Y, etherwallet.com. And then you plug in and you do it that way. All right. So that's currency outside. Let's talk about some other frequently asked questions. Coinbase, I talked about, Coinbase.com. Go to help for more information on Coinbase.com. Okay. And then, George, I just mentioned myetherwallet.com. And I'm going to go ahead and, you know what I'm going to do? Because my face might be in the way. That might help. That's one way of doing that, is just moving my face out of the way. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plug that right into, because you guys are all live with me, I'm going to plug it right here into the text. So myetherwallet.com is a great starting point for that info. Okay, moving on. So let's finish. I'm finishing up here. A couple more things I want to share with you. You know, how's my performance been for cryptocurrency? You know, one of the things we do is we do have a premium service we do with cryptocurrency, and 66 published trades. This was as of just not long ago, over the last year. You know, last 12 months. My first Coinbase account that I opened, and that's the one I was sharing with you guys. You know, I'll show that to you in a second. We've actually been, you know, and we take a rules-based approach to how we pick crypto. I mentioned this before. We pick crypto with technicals, seasonals, retracements like Fibonacci. We also use fundamentals too. We won't go in, you know, no matter how good Dogecoin looks, it's not a rules-based coin to me. And now if it trades on Coinbase, I might change my mind. But it's not a coin that has anything, that offers anything of significant value to the network. So to me, that looks like something that could fall apart very easily. My Coinbase account, my first one that I opened, just to give you an idea, in March 14th of 2020, that thing was sitting around just over 29,000. As you can see, it moved up to 1.9. Now, I'm going to mention this. There's nothing, in 12 months, there's no coin that I know of that's gone from, you know, made a move between 29,000 and 1.9 million. Although I had mentioned I made some buys. And these were significant buys that I did in the month of May was when I was buying BTC, and I started buying in February, in May, in June, in September, and November on ETH. So those were additional buys that I added in, and that's what helped me push that to the level it's at now. And actually, here's that account. I have that account right here, so I'm happy to share it with everybody just to show you that it's real. I mean, that's where this account is right now. So to say I've done well with cryptocurrency, just looking at one account is an understatement. It really was my top performer for the last year, for the last couple of years. And so it's done very well, especially the last year since COVID. We've seen that big jump up, and I've made purchases less than a year ago that have done extremely well. But, I guess the next question is, do I have any patterns right now that I'm looking at in Bitcoin that I can share with everybody? So, there is one that I'm looking at. I'm going to share that with you guys right now. So what are the opportunities that I'm seeing in the market? So I have, with our software, we have apps too. And we have a whole software piece called the TG Suite. And some of this is available to our community that utilize our software, because the apps come with software. And some of it's available to what we call our partners. And our partners are a level higher that give access to all of our trading apps. But I want to take you into microcurrency apps. So I'm going to, I blew this up so everybody can see it on the screen. The microcurrency app, and of course, you probably can't see it because my face is in the way. So let's do that. So the microcurrency app, I'm going to slide this right over here. There, now we might be able to see it. And we're going to go into a section called Darknet. And Darknet allows me to go in and look at channels. You know those channels we showed at the beginning of the hour or over an hour ago? Those channels I want to show you right now what they look like when we put them together and create trading strategies. So I've seen a lot of them occur recently. In fact, if I were just to go over and look at them right now, let me show you what that's going to look like. So I'm going to go to cryptocurrency charts, and I'm going to go to, and this is in Tom's option tools. Come on down. Let's go to crypto darknet. So darknet is our kind of our secret weapon when it comes to cryptocurrency. And I've got all of these are currently darknet signals. All right. So when I see darknet signals coming up on crypto, I see now some of these are like if you see XRP, there was an S beside it. So XRP went from a area that was a buy to a sell. All right. How about BCH, Bitcoin Cash? That was a buy. That was a buy back here at 500. Now it's trading above 6. All right. Take a look at, let's move along here, OMG. All right, that's a MySgo. Now, that's not showing a Bitcoin buy at all, but we have a different buying strategy on a MySgo. Comp, that was one we got into, I would say about 2 weeks ago, and it was shortly after it made this move down here at 350. But now this is a darknet buy where we had channel consolidation, and that channel consolidation led to a sell. We had recently, with about 2 weeks ago, another buy. That was around 350. It's jumped up, and it's come up, and it's topped out at around that 550 area. We expect this to break through, and actually looking at that $650, $700 area as a potential target. But there's one I want to share with you today. And the one I want to share with you today, I've got it on the chart here, and that's Litecoin. Litecoin has made the least amount of movement, all right, as any of the signals that we've had. We have a lot of signals that have come out in the last couple of weeks, and they've been fantastic. So I wanted to pick one out that was a Coinbase trade that has had the least amount of movement since the signal came out, and that would be Litecoin. And Litecoin, we were seeing buying opportunities really right around the 185 area, and it's at 207 as of this last 208, 207 as of the last print, but we'll look at it in real time in a moment. All right, so what I'd look at is, looking at Litecoin, all right, symbol is LTC. I see you see what's going on with this one? This is why I still like this one, is that we've got lower highs happening and we've got higher lows. And if we bust out above this we close above 220 or at the 220 level, then I really look at that next move to be above 240. And I am targeting somewhere around the $290 area is the first target we see for LTC. So LTC looks like a very interesting plan right now. This is going into the Coinbase. And if you were doing this, you set this up, you bring up Litecoin. You can overview this. If you have some in your wallet, you can see what's in your wallet, what's in the vault. But over here, you'd buy, sell, or convert. Buy would be to buy with US dollars. Sell would be to sell to US dollars or your currency. Convert would be convert it from or convert it to another currency. All right. If I had Bitcoin and I wanted to jump into Litecoin, maybe I'd swap out some Bitcoin for Litecoin. And then if I wanted to get out of Litecoin, I could convert back to Bitcoin. Keep in mind, and I'm not a tax professional, all right, but that is a taxable event. If you trade out one currency for another, you don't get any 1031 exchange like real estate. This isn't real estate property. It is targeted as an asset, but it's targeted like a stock. If you swap out one stock for another and you had a gain on that stock you swap out, you're basically trading it to US dollars and then buying another stock. Even though we're going cryptocurrency to cryptocurrency on the conversion, the IRS looks at it as a sale, right? And then a buy. So I would put in how much I was interested in buying, and I'm going to buy Litecoin. And for me, PNC is one of the accounts I pull from. So maybe it's my PNC account. Click on preview. You preview that buy. You confirm. And then eventually you see the buy went through and you'll get an email from Coinbase letting you know that the transaction happened. That's how that works. Let's go look at this in real time as we finish up here. So if I were to go to my real-time account, then what I'd look at here, I'm going to come up to the upper left-hand side, and I'm going to change this to LTCUSD. All right, LTCUSD is the Litecoin, all right, US dollar. And we see Litecoin, and in this account, I don't have any Litecoin. In this account, if I wanted to buy some Litecoin, and Litecoin's trading where right now? All right, well, we know that it is trading at, if we come all the way up to the top here, 213.14. So it's up 5.5% already. So it was at 207 when I started this, so it's actually starting to move up a little bit. But if I wanted to buy $500 in Litecoin, all right, what I would do is I'd type in, all right, how many Litecoin do I want? How much is 2 going to cost me? All right. If I put a limit price in, let's say I want to put it in at 200, then I know it's going to cost me 402. If I did 2.5, then it's going to cost me $500 plus $2.50 on the Coinbase Pro network, and I can put that in as a limit order, and then I'm in purchasing Litecoin at that limit order at 200. So I thought I would share that with you guys. Let me check the Q&A. Let's check the boards real quick here. Thanks, Tom. Fabulous presentation. Thank you so much. Dilip, appreciate that. Appreciate your comments. Thank you, George. Yeah, Robert, this is all being recorded. What's going to happen is once this is done, what's going to happen is YouTube's going to automatically throw it into they're going to just update the recording, and it's going to be available as a video for you to watch. So it is recorded. All right. Do I always wait for dips on these buys? George, what I wait for is I wait for a signal. And unfortunately, I've got buy signals on several different coins. And I had no buy signals today on any coin. So in that event, I just showed you the most recent buy that I like. Even though it's gone up a little bit in price. So we got the signal around 185, and right now it's trading around the 214, 215 area. So it's $20 higher. It's 10% higher. But we're looking for this to move up into the high twos. The 290 area is where we're looking at that. As you know, if you can see there. Let's see, Wendy. Hope you got your sound back. Oh, it was your fault. I see that now. Thanks for the tax warning. You're welcome. Carlton, I appreciate you, man. And I love your comments on all the videos. Keep them coming, guys. One more thing. I'm gonna leave you with some free goodies as we close out this live stream. If you have not done so, please do us a favor here at the site, at the channel. Please hit that like button if you haven't. It really does help support the channel. And really just through the algorithms, it helps us get the channel out to more people. We do this, we've been doing this as a free service. And what my plan here with live stream, as well as with our videos, is to educate folks on how it is that we spot opportunities, these rules-based opportunities, how we plan, execute, and manage trades, and how we use alternatives, like alternatives to Bitcoin, alternatives to stocks, right? Other than just simply buying and going long. And we do this, we do this as a free service for the YouTube community. Yes, I do have premium publications. Yes, I do have premium software. If you're interested in the software, I'm going to put the links below for you. I'm going to share them here at the end of the session. In fact, I'm going to put them up on the board now as we finish out. But I want to also mention that on YouTube, yeah, we monetize the channel, guys, but all of our top line, all of our revenue that comes in this channel ends up in one form or another going to charity. All right, we donate all the money. We did that last year. We're doing that again this year. All of our 2021 revenue, not net profit. All right, top line revenue. Whatever Google tells me we made, we're donating that to charity through donations, through charity auctions, through a number of different ways. But realize that all that's going to a good cause. So you having to watch that 15-second to 2-minute video, whatever it may be, realize it all goes to a great cause. The last thing I want to leave everyone with is, how do we find out more information about what it is that we do here outside of our videos? Well, you can check us out. You guys all have the channel. You're here. But if you're interested in any of our Trader's Guide, check out the Trader's Guide, powerprofittrades.com link. And then I also got a Tom's Option Tools Guide. So let me go ahead and give you the article piece first. So if you take a look at the text box right now. So there's the Trader's Guide that we have. And then the second thing I'm going to cut and paste into is a 2-week free trial. And that 2-week free trial, you have to have never used this before. You get those of you that are brand new to the tools. If you've never tried our tools before, 2-week free trial. You can pick anything. All right. And yes, we have an option. We have one called Option Trader. The contrarian trader is where our darknet signals all lie. Okay, so if you like the darknet signals, we do that in stocks as well as cryptos. If you take the complete trader, you take that test, you'll see the option stuff. You'll see the darknet signals, and you'll see our money patterns. Our money patterns are money calendar for stocks and crypto. We have a money clock, which is intraday. We have holidays. We just came out of a holiday just now, and we can look at holidays in and out 30 days or less, or even the 30 days before Good Friday and the 30 days after Good Friday to find those symbols that have patterns. We have weekly money patterns. We have all kinds of money patterns that are available to our complete trader users, so take a look at those as well. And then finally, I just want to, as I wrap up here, guys, I just want to thank all of you for joining me on the live stream. Again, we'll have this session. It is recorded. We will get the recording out to everyone. I'll get that recording out to you. As soon as I stop the stream here, that recording will go out. It's just going to have to spool up. Once it spools up, it'll be available to everybody who's watched this. And of course, those of you who subscribe and you happen to miss today's exciting live stream, you'll be able to get it as well. All right, last thing I want to mention, guys, if you haven't done so yet, please like this channel. It really does help us. It helps us out on our support of our channel. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and ding the bell, and you'll be the first one to get tomorrow's video and all the other videos afterwards. I'm doing a video tomorrow that's going to be my #1 symbol that I use to hedge this roaring bull market, just in case of a pullback. I believe it has the least amount of risk, and it has potentially the most amount of upside if the market were to go down. All right. Guys, thanks a lot for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you again, same time, same channel next week. Bye now.